If you're just getting started making YouTube content, it can be pretty tempting to buy all of the fancy gear that other YouTubers tell you to buy. So today I'm going to save you thousands of dollars by telling you what gear you really don't need as a beginner and what you actually need instead. I've been making YouTube videos for over 3.5 years now, and I've worked with camera gear from the hundreds of dollars all the way up to the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I've been able to get a good idea of what a beginner actually needs. So let's start with the most obvious temptation for new YouTubers, and that is expensive cameras. Now the key thing to remember here is just that it's really not about the camera, it's about how you use it. And look, the reality really is if you spend more money on a camera, you'll probably end up with better image quality. But better image quality unfortunately doesn't equal a better video. So what do you need to do instead of buying a really expensive YouTube camera? Well, I really do think the most important thing is to just get started. So if you already have a dedicated camera, like a mirrorless camera or something, then start with that. If you only have a phone, then just start with the phone. Because the important thing is you want to start developing in all those skills that you just can't buy. Things like good scripting, good camera presence, good editing, and all of those things really have very little to do with the quality of your actual image. In my experience, successful videos are always a combination of all of those things. They're not just reliant on one thing like image quality. Next up, let's talk about high-end and expensive audio equipment. Now, when it comes to audio, this is actually an area that is quite important, because if you do have bad sounding audio, most people won't watch your videos just because it's so annoying to listen to. But you don't need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on expensive microphones. You can actually get really decent mics for 50 to 100 bucks that will drastically improve the quality of your audio. There's a lot of skills that you can develop around audio management to help make sure that your audio recording sounds good even if you have an average microphone. Like, make sure there's no background noise when you're recording your audio. I literally used to use pillows and blankets that I hang them up around the room just to reduce and dampen any echo in the space. There's lots of good microphone techniques out there, including making sure that the microphone is as close to your mouth as possible, and then learning some basic audio editing techniques using things like noise reduction or doing a basic EQ can really improve the quality of your audio. So remember, skills again in audio management will go a long way and will get you a lot further than just buying an expensive microphone. So moving on to lighting. Once again, it can seem like you need to spend thousands of dollars on a big softbox and a big bulky light, which is basically what I've done. I spent $1,200 on my lighting setup. And here's the thing, if I was starting a YouTube channel again today, I actually would get a very similar light to this. But these types of lights are so much cheaper today. You can get one very similar to this for only about $300, $400 US, and it will literally last you for years and years. And when it comes to gear that will actually make a difference in terms of your video quality, lighting is the #1 thing that will drastically improve how your videos look, more than any camera and any microphone will. Now, what if you can't afford a $300 to $400 light? Then again, there's some really simple skills and techniques that you can learn. The lighting technique that I recommend to everyone is a really simple 3-point lighting technique, which is very common. You just need to have one main soft light in front of you, preferably a bit above you, pointing down at a 45-degree angle. And you can literally just use a bed sheet for diffusion just to soften that light so you don't get harsh shadows. Then just grab another lamp or any type of light that you've got around the house and put that behind you on the opposite side of your main key light. And this will create a rim light. So for me, I've got a blue LED light, which you can see shining on my face. And that just helps you to stand out from the background a bit. And then if you've still got too much shadow on your face, just get another soft light to help fill out the shadow. I just use my monitor, and that helps to just bring a bit of light into this side of my face. And then lastly, just chuck some practical lights in the background to give some visual interest. So before we go any further, I just want to quickly mention, I just launched a brand new newsletter called Create Better. And the whole idea of it is that I'm going to share more of this kind of information, things that have really helped me to improve the production quality of my videos. I've learned so much over the past 3.5 years of making YouTube videos, and I just want to share what I've learned with you guys. So feel free to sign up with the link in the description. And if you do, I'll send you my video LUT and my preset free of charge straight into your inbox. All right, so next up, let's talk a bit about gimbals. Now, these are tools that are super common for videographers, and a lot of YouTubers end up getting gimbals as well. They really do help stabilize shots, but here's why you don't need one when you're first starting out. Depending on the type of content that you make, especially if you're recording a lot of talking head content like this to start out with, you really only just need a regular static tripod to rest your camera on. And then when it does come to shooting B-roll, you can actually get some really good handheld footage if you, again, just learn some really simple techniques. Next up, let's talk about LED LED lights or LED tubes. They're often used as practical lighting props and also as accent lights or rim lights for products. However, the reason why you just don't need them when you're starting out is again because regular household lamps can honestly do pretty much the same thing. Things like scripting, good editing, and just interesting content is a lot more important. For the first probably 6 months of making YouTube videos myself, I pretty much only used natural light, didn't have any external lights at all. And in that time, I was just able to get a real feel for making videos, and then I was able to upgrade from there. Now let's talk about advanced video editing software. Now all of these different softwares are really powerful, and I do recommend upgrading to them eventually. But the reason I don't recommend them necessarily for beginners is because if you've never used them, they've got quite a steep learning curve initially, and in most cases they are going to cost you some money. And the main thing that you really just want to focus on in the beginning is just setting yourself up for a really easy and simple workflow so that you can just get into the habit and the routine of making videos. At the start, you really only need 3 things when it comes to editing, and that's the ability to cut footage, the ability to add transitions and titles, and then the ability to add music and adjust the volume levels of your video. So I'd recommend starting out with a free program like iMovie on Macs, or even CapCut. You can get a desktop and a phone version of CapCut, which is a really easy and simple place to start. So the main thing really to remember is that working on the skill of actually creating a video from start to finish is more important than the quality of your gear, at least in the beginning. If you've already started your content creation journey, then check out this video here where I talk about how I edit all of my videos. But other than that, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you very soon in the next video.